What's up, guys? It's been a while. It's been a while. So, I just want to give an update. Basically, I have dropped the ball, and that is completely my fault. I take full responsibility. I was just kind of in a slump, going on a losing streak trading. Um, Basically, I had moved locations, looking for a new job, trying to get settled in a new job, um, which is a sales role. So, just having a lot of pressure just to like produce was really hard on me and weighing on me. And I just kind of took a step back from YouTube and just kind of recording. But after doing a lot of journaling and that, a lot of talks with myself, basically, I realized that's not the right thing to do. Just continue on. So I kind of wanted to recap everybody and show you where I'm at, what I'm looking at. Um, so I think the last time I posted was about 3 months ago, which once again I apologize. A full quarter of trading and not posting is terrible. But yeah, so basically what happened is I think the last time I checked in, we were on our Weeble account. We had deposited like 750 to try to build that account. I blew that account. uh, I was just not psychologically in the right mindset to be trading, which is a lesson to learn. Do not trade if you're not clear headed. If you're not in the right space, don't trade. Um, but that was a good learning lesson. Um, I'm now getting back into the swing of things. I previously, when I blew that account, I took a little bit of time. I actually was managing a large account. Um, it just taught me to basically take my time, basically focus on high quality setups, make sure I'm taking the best trades possible, and not just forcing trades. And so yeah, so now I've regrouped. Just to kind of recap, I'm on my 500K journey for this year, um, with the sales role and with trading. Last month I made in trading about 3,500, which is a good start, decent. Basically, I'm not trying to go big. I'm just trying to make sure I take high quality setups every time, which I'm so sorry that I've dropped the ball because there was a lot going on in that time. I mean, I've traded so many things that like I should have won huge on, sold a little early, was manipulated through the market as a retailer, and basically just got institutionalized. And also took some big wins as well, just kind of playing my role. But I want to go ahead and get into some of these that I'm going into because things are looking up. I feel great, and I want you all to follow me along this journey. More importantly, I want me to follow along, and just to look back as I become extremely profitable. There has been a major shift and a pivot point, no pun intended. But I kind of want to go ahead and get into these setups really quickly, um, just because, yeah. So let's go ahead and get into it. So there are a few things I'm looking at. SPY is going insane, completely just creating newer high after newer high after newer high. So what I'm looking for here is a breaker structure. As you can see, there is a similar here, right? And I think this comes into August, but when that happens, we should retest this trend line, right? And on the larger time frame, right, this is an ascending wedge here. If this wedge is actually like here, right? I want to make sure our touch points are correct. If this does follow, now normally in July we always have bullish months. Um, so we're just kind of following that. This has been all of July here from this moment on, and we just newer high, very much bullish structure, right? Um, what I'm looking for is basically for this to break and us to go into August starting our kind of pullback, right? I would like to see us come into previous highs, which is this 609. That is when I would like to enter the market. I have not bought in. I thought all of this, just to be frank, was just complete lies and retail buying. I mean, as of now, there's still like $5 trillion of institutional money that's been on the sideline. So, I mean, it makes me feel good, but seeing this run also did not make me feel great. I mean, we are at 480. If you had I just dropped the ball. I dropped the ball. I should have had 10 shares here. This would have been, 150 gain per share times 10. That's 1,500. That's all right. As I said, I've made it in the options. But yeah, so this is the first thing I'm looking at. I do think it continues this bullish structure going into July. And then historically in August, we do have a pullback. So that's what I'm looking there. SMCI is one of the best bullish structures I've been looking at. Now you can see my prediction with this yellow graph here. That is what I'm looking for, and I've drawn this all the way back here since we had this bull flag. It just kind of took forever to break out. This was another small bull flag here, kind of broke out. Now we're having another bull flag here, right? It's not as clear, but you can see it, right? Now we're having a breakout, right? And basically how I measure bull flags is I measure the top from where the wick starts, or the bottom of the pole of the flag, and then bring it to the breakout, right? And that brings us right into my fib level of 57.61. So currently I'm in 57 calls, or targeting at 57 calls. I'm not sure which one I'm in, but I'm in SMCI calls. Still giving very high bullish structure. When we look on the daily, it's given like this inverse, like almost head and shoulders kite movement, but yeah, I would like us to see us at least come into the 70 range eventually. So I also have shares here. The next one, I'm just going to kind of speed run through these guys because I'm going to make this video quick. Yeah, we're just going to keep you guys updated. Next one I'm looking at, I entered Intel Leaps. I actually entered here at the, what is that? What level was that? I think that's like 19 level. Yeah. And so these leaps have paid. I basically sold here, rebought back. If we look in, sold here, took gains, bought back in here, took gains, bought back in here, and now we're just holding leaps. We have earnings coming this week. I think it's on July 20th, so that's a Thursday. We should be coming into this area. If it retests here, then I'll just buy another leap. This has been a huge order block here, so I'm not really worried about that, but this gap needs to be filled. So maybe this is the start of that. We shall see. We still are in an AI bubble, so I'm expecting a lot to crash, but especially into August. But for now, I'm still holding these leaps. So yeah, that's the next one I'm looking at. Netflix, I'm hoping we finally get a switch and we start to see some downfall. So we hit a nice little peak here. We shall see what happens. Hopefully it doesn't bull flag because I haven't been able to catch Netflix. There's a few stocks that I really want. Meta, AMD. AMD I completely missed. I was in, but was hesitant. AMD, Coin. Also, I don't know if you guys are keeping track of Bitcoin, but I did not follow my instincts, which was completely my fault. But basically, it did exactly as I thought. Let me see if I can pull up Bitcoin here for you guys. And this is why I was following Coin and MSTR in the same way. I called us retesting at the 73,000 level, which is the previous high. We did exactly that. And as you can see, this is my prediction from, months ago. I think it was in April. Yeah, April. And yeah, it broke out completely. So that was another one I missed, as well as Coin following suit there. I do expect it to continue to go. This is going to go to 1 million eventually. But, so just play precautiously. We've had moments of past where it's done something similar, right? Create a new high, and then we get a huge downfall. So if we can come back into this area, that is when I am buying the house from that one. But in other words, ASML, I have lots and lots of shares. I think this is a great time to buy, an absolute great time to buy. I don't care how long it takes. I'm in here for the long term. This is a monopoly of all AI. Look at this gap here. Look at that gap. So right now we are fully in on ASML. And I recommend just buying shares there. No trading. Tesla's an interesting one. Now, Tesla, currently I have calls. I bought calls today. Basically, I'm expecting this to be a manipulation leg. because this is giving very bullish structure, right? High, low, high, low. I'm expecting us to come into a newer high into this range. Skeptical because come Wednesday, Tesla has earnings. So I really just want a smaller trade on this one. I'm expecting us just to cover this gap. I just basically bought this dip, think this is a manipulation leg, expecting it to come up. I actually have been trading Tesla all week and have been making a decent chunk of change off of that. So keep an eye on Tesla. I think it could have a run. We will see how earnings do with robotaxi reportings. But yeah, I'm just kind of skeptical there. Playing this trade, I don't like to go into earnings or play into earnings myself with a smaller account, just because it's too much capital to risk. I'm trying to take as much risk off the table and just kind of play the game that I know, right? So yeah, taking that off. Netflix, I don't know if I went over. I think I just went over yet. Yeah, so I want it to come in here and then us to start basically a downfall into this area here, to that 1,000 area. So this might be a leap I hop in later on. I'm not sure. I'm just kind of watching closely because we don't want it to bull flag, right? But yeah, we'll see what happens here. ASML, Tesla, Apple. Apple is the best setup I have at the moment. I'm currently in just re-entered Apple calls here. This is actually a good buy point for me. Let's see. Off the technical analysis, giving high bullish structure, right? Look at this bull flag that you see, right? So as I told you how I do it, I measure the length of the first pole of a bull flag. You see it here, we broke out. It may come and retest here, which is totally fine. I'm expecting a massive. Now, normally, I think July, for these last week and a half of July, I expect a very bullish trend. August, I expect some consolidation, just kind of how it goes historically. But this structure here, I mean, we finally broke out of this pendant. You see we're creating some bullish structure here, and this is a huge bull flag. I'm very bullish on Apple. I mean, this morning we sold some calls. I think we had about 350 profit. Just re-entered recently, just based off of this retest here. As you can see, look at that bounce. We'll see if it comes down lower, but I'm okay with buying here. I bought 2 to 3 week out contracts, and I just kind of going to sit on those. So Apple's one that I'm very bullish on. Easy one to day trade, easy one to swing in this crazy market. Nike is another one that I have entered. Now, as we see here, we have this bull flag, right? Once again, I told you guys how I measured mine. Start of the poll, just so you can see kind of the flag that I'm seeing there, right? Bull, boom. It had a break, retest, and I expect it to continue going. Now, if I look on the weekly, this is a very bullish structure because we are finally breaking a descending wedge or a descending trend. Usually once we break that, we get a break, retest, and then sometimes we get parabolic. Sometimes it takes long and kind of, chips away, but I want to see us come back into this area. So I've entered Nike Leaps now. Amazon, still very high for me. I'm not buying yet. Kind of took my break on this. Adobe is same thing as Nike. This is a descending wedge. So waiting for a break here. Adobe is a great company. So just kind of watching that one. AMD completely missed this one, right? This was a descending wedge here. This is exactly what Nike and Adobe is doing. You can see as soon as it broke here, it just got parabolic. Now, a lot of that has to do with them replacing a lot of NVIDIA chips. I forget what the chip is called, but do the research. But yeah, before AMD was a laughingstock, now I think they are in true considerations in the AI field, especially if they do come and replace some of these NVIDIA chips that they say are cheaper to produce and still as efficient, if not more efficient. This could be a huge contender, but I basically missed this train. I played a little bit of options. You can see I have some bull flag drawings here that, I played a few calls, but not as many as I'd like. So AMD is another one I'm watching. I would love for it to come back and fill some of these gaps so then I can hop in, as well as Meta. Meta went insane, just so you guys can see. I would love Meta to come back and fill some of these gaps, and I will enter. Right now it's just a little too overbought. So is so many things, but yeah. So I think that is all that I'm watching currently. Top plays. I also, just to let you know, this is the one that I missed. Now, looking at it, I do want to check because that kind of did give. Hey, you guys seeing what I'm seeing? Am I tripping? I may not be tripping. We'll go ahead and set an alert here. Guys, I got absolutely manipulated on this one. I was in calls, right? I was in calls here. You can see, if I go back, I was in calls here. Held, it dropped, held, watched it come back. Manipulated here. It was such a bad day. I traded it. I had my contracts expiring here, 7/17, which is last week, right? I think, yeah. And then we had this major bull flag candle. I couldn't believe it, guys. And you can see my predictions here. I do think we have more to go, so I may re-enter circle. I'm watching very close. Very, very, very close. Because I did get diddied and I want my money back on that one. I lost, I think, 500 on the trade just for it to go positive like 2,000 right after I sold it. It was insane. Merc, I am currently in. Now, I did just break structure, but I have a call all the way to September 19th. I'm okay with it breaking. It's a pretty far out leap, so worst comes to worst, I just rebuy, average down. Earnings coming this week or next week, so we shall see what happens there. If it drops, that's totally fine, but I'm expecting Super Bowl structure, so I'm in a leap there. But yeah, Applied Materials is the last one that I'm watching. Very bullish structure there. I have an alert set. Create alert. No, I don't have an alert set, but we will create an alert now. Which is huge, guys. Definitely set alerts so you kind of take off the active watching that you're doing. But yeah, that's about it. I mean, I've just bought a lot of shares of Applied Materials. Seeing this major descending wedge, but at the same time, this is a huge bull flag. Look at that. Look at that. I mean, mine isn't even close to the actual length of this leg. Guys, this should absolutely skyrocket. Skyrocket. Look, straight into the fib. 314. We are heavily in AMAT and Applied Materials and ASML being kind of top of the food chain of some of our semiconductor markets. Circle IPO'd not too long ago, so just expecting some run there. But yeah, guys, that's about it. Those are my top plays. Like I said, the top plays that I'm watching closely: SMCI, Tesla, Apple, with a few others that I expect to go down, or a few that have hopped in leaps on Nike, leaps on MRK. I've got leaps on Intel. But we've got a huge earnings week coming this week and next week. A bunch of Mag 7. Actually, all the Mag 7. Google, which I'm also in shares at. We've got Google, we've got Tesla, we've got, let's actually see. Let's pull it up. What all do we have? So this week we have let's see, we have Coca-Cola tomorrow on Tuesday. Today of this recording, it is July 21st. So SAP, Enphase, Solar, Texas Instruments on Tuesday. Don't mean to be covering my mouth. Wednesday, as far as Mag 7, we have Google, we have Tesla. IBM is a big one. We also have Chipotle. Pfizer, which has been on a decline, is a good one to watch. As you hear, we got alerts going off right now. Intel is Thursday, as I said before. And then going into next week, we have basically every other. Apple is, I think, reports earnings, if I'm not mistaken. Let me double check. 7:31. I think that is next week. 7:31. Yeah, next Thursday. So Apple, I think Meta, basically everybody but Nvidia is having earnings. So we're just going to keep it close watch, guys. Thank you guys so much for being tuned. Thank you to myself as well. I know it sounds weird, but talking to yourself is great, just kind of keeping yourself in check. So I'm glad that I took the break, but also upset that I kind of left it on a hanging string in there. So I know probably no one's watching this, and that's totally fine. I'll be able to watch this as I continue to build and build and grow and grow and grow. So yeah, I just want to say thank you guys, and we shall see what comes. That is about all. Stay safe, guys. Safe trading. Become profitable. Take only high quality setups, and we shall see you guys soon.